look fairly sore at the moment.
The injury that forced him to miss the Harlequins game last week, because again it's Pontypridd that come away then. Chance here for the counter-attack for them. Jonathan Mason looking for supports, getting it from Jenkins. Can he now release somebody? Jenkins back inside, getting past Jair Evans, going towards the posts. This will be a tremendous try. And no wonder Pontypridd are so delighted with their 19-year-old outside half. Neil Jenkins, a tremendous score for 13-man Pontypridd, in the lead now then by 8.
Kerry Jonathan's kick was gratefully accepted by Mark Rowley, who showed a fine turn of pace in covering the 60 metres to the line. A young Gary Wetton would have been proud of such a score. Jenkins and Parry exchanged penalties before Pontypridd engineered a second try. From a scrum, Jenkins veered across field and then executed a superb scissors movement with Daryl Hughes. The winger twisted and turned his way to the line for a try which Jenkins converted. It was on occasion a try. Jonathan Mason timed his run to perfection, brushed aside some airy-fairy tackling and sprinted some 25 metres to the posts. Jenkins' conversion made it 11-9 to Llanelli.
10 minutes into the game, combined efforts by backs and forwards, Mark Rowley nearly scores, but James Jackson, the hooker, rounds it off 7-0. Which soon became 11-0. Dale McIntosh, their number 8, was to leave the field in the second half, prominent twice in the movement, as was Neil Jenkins and Paul John. A quick release here. Jonathan Mason joining the line as well, and Daryl Hughes crosses in the corner.
But Carter taking over an unaccustomed role with Davis trapped. Jenkins doing well to release quickly, Lewis doing better to hang on long enough to give Shepherd an almost free run-in.
John turned bad ball into good use with a through ball which Lothar Matthäus would have been proud of. Gavin Jones following up swiftly got the score. 6-4 to Bridgend minutes. Phil John's decision to take the tap penalty paid dividends when the ball was worked out quickly to Neil Jenkins, whose pace, strength and determination took him over the goal line. Bridgend 6, Pontypridd 8. Retaliated immediately. Fine running and interpassing released Neil Jenkins, who crossed for his second try. Indeed, Jenkins' kicking and support running was a feature of the match, and his touchline conversion sealed Pontypridd.
It's not, though, been a matter of insufficient effort. It's just that others have become better organised and fully utilised their strengths, such as Pontypridd here through Dale McIntosh. It's the latter half of the season that's seen their rise, and all of it resting on the sort of skills, efficiency and drive displayed here. Indeed, there has to be a lesson for others here, when all their success has been achieved through being ultra-positive. Even when attacks are temporarily stopped way behind the gain line, it's all basically down to injecting pace. Having good vision and appreciating space. And last but not least, as Aled Richards demonstrates here, clinical finishing. If ever a movement should have rounded off the victory that confirmed their third-place status, this should have been it. From the quickly won line-out ball to the interchange of attacking angles, through finally to the blanket support. Unfortunately, it wasn't to be. Not that the score was long in coming. The next piece of possession offered the live wire Paul John the ducking and diving opportunity for his season's final try. Pontypridd 12, Maesteg 3.
And Pontypridd didn't really liven up until early in the second half, but Neil Jenkins slipped in for a try to give Pontypridd an 8-0 lead. Following a strong drive from the Pontypridd forwards, it was Jenkins again who was the catalyst. Fullback Matthew back feeding winger Gavin Jones in the corner. 15-3 to Pontypridd.
Young. Pontypridd responded well. Hooker Phil John sets up the platform. Winger Gavin Jones is given the opportunity to attack the defence. The move then appears to break down before Jim Scarlett is able to claim the loose ball, and it's second row Mark Rowley, who was an early Christmas gift. The Pooler scrum half Paul Young misses a simple-looking clearance kick from a solid scrum. And it's flanker Matthew Lloyd who gratefully accepts the score, 21-15 to the visitors. A further penalty by Martin Jones extended the lead to 9 points before the home side had the last word. Once again, pressure by the forwards results in a penalty. Phil John sets up the opportunity. And the move eventually sees captain Paul John crossing the goal line to give a final score, Pontypridd 20, Pontypool.
Daryl Hughes for Pontypridd response. And he showed powers of sorcery of his very own, seemingly invisible to would-be tacklers, and going through his full repertoire of swerves and tumbles before finally rolling over.
Ponty stole the points with the final move of the game. Daryl Hughes with a floating pass to fullback Gavin Jones, who crossed in the corner. Neil Jenkins added the conversion, so after a
ominously for the police, after the men in red and blue failed to exploit their home advantage. It was the giant 6'8" lock Greg Prosser, ironically a member of the South Wales Police Force, who barged over for Pontypridd's only try. The rest of Ponty's points came from the reliable boot of Neil Jenkins.
Drifted out to the line out. Matthew Lloyd providing Phil John with plenty of protection. Swansea have to be careful here that they don't get into an offside position. Paul Arnold is very much cringing, as Paul John points out to the referee. It's there for Neil Jenkins. Oh, that's good thrusting from the outside half. More back row style than half-back style. The other half-back, John, now back. This is a great try. Jason Lewis, superbly done. Well, the softening up, then it's right where the forwards are waiting. Now, can they drive that even further? Pontypridd are short of the centre. It's not really in their interest to spread it wide. So keep it tight, drive it. They must release it before it's too late, though. Jenkins, again the strength of the man, takes out outs and half and two centres. Now they can spread it here. Paul John, there should be men over. It's counting numbers. Erland is in space. Can he get there? Yes, he can. Excellent try. Excellent try. And again, perfectly worked. And they're using their 7 men to drive it. John and Jenkins. The off the ball running, Matthew back into some space. Still there is. Glorious. So simple. The timing. More possession flowing the home side's way. Back has been very much involved in most things. So has this man, Phil John. It's there for Jim Scarlett. It's a wave of black jerseys. Daryl Hughes! That surely rounds it off. One of the more memorable days here.
Chwaraewr gorau'r gêm Neil Jenkins. 1 pwynt ar 15 iddo fe heddiw.
Normally it's because of the potency of their pack and tenacity of their tackling. Here, though, is the other dimension. Direct running, crisp passing, yes, both flankers, number 8 and Rowley involved for Robbins' triumphant dive. And even when things become slightly lateral in midfield, there's always Matthew back to straighten and inject pace. Then it's down to clinical finishing. Enter David Manley.
Pontypridd are valiantly striving to keep a pace with a changing world. Newport stagnating. Positive attitude, pace and directness in its running, dexterity in its handling. Try stopping that, says Neil Jenkins. And if you can do it once, why not repeat it time and time again? Mark Spiller with a thrust. And number 13, Jason Lewis, emphasising that even in these modern times, there's still room for fine touches. Crispin Cormack, the scorer. Any circle of success must have a focal point, and what Pontypridd is to the surrounding valleys, Neil Jenkins is to the rugby club. He'd be the first to admit, though, that he's not badly supported. Wing Owen Robbins, lock Greg Prosser, and scorer Robert Davis, enthusiastic disciples. Coaching's all Father Time has...
Jenkins, long pass, there's a man here in space. Now then, Manley can attack forward. The pace of the man gets in clear, either way. This will be a brilliant try. What a response from Pontypridd. What a run from Manley. Oh, breathtaking stuff.
10-metre line in shots and bisecting the scrum. That's a different tactic from Paul John. The wrong side for the defence, and John does so well. Now then, can support get it to him. David Manley can attack Richard Rees. Manley all the way. Oh, a second superb try for the right winger.
Pontypridd.
Why not against Newbridge as well?